So if you think before every phone call, before every time you're planning your day, and you think before you have any meeting, what do you think the first thing I ask of anyone when we sit down in a meeting is? Okay, what are your outcomes? What are the outcomes for this meeting? First thing I want to know, because if I know the outcomes, guess what? A lot of meetings, they're done pretty quick. Because if I know the outcome, you don't have to go through all the activities to sell me on it. Just, that's your outcome? How do you want to do it? Sounds good to me. Rock. That's how you make a meeting productive. I know a meeting's productive not by the hours or time. Sometimes it takes longer to the outcome than you want, but I'm going to get the outcome. That's, by the way, what you see with me on stage. That's why my times vary. It's based on an outcome. I'm going to get that outcome. I don't give a damn whether it's the right time or not. I want to do it that time, but I must deliver the outcome.
This fire you're feeling, this pressure you're feeling, this frustration you're feeling, this is what is going to make you into the weapon that you are going to become, that will then build the life that you are out to build. What's my life going to look like if I don't do this? What's my outcome going to be if I don't do this? Am I going to be less than what I could be if I don't do this? These are the things that a winner's dialogue sounds like, all right? Loser dialogue sounds like, man, I don't know, man. I don't want to lose what I got. You know, I got it pretty good, when in reality, you don't have it pretty good. You're scrounging, you're trying to make ends meet, you're doing a job that you fucking hate, all right? And you built this life that you're afraid of losing up as if it's extremely valuable.
I'm going to get that. And by the way, how many like to have your company focused on outcomes, results, and not activities? Say I. People say all the time, well, did you get that done? Well, I left them an email. I left them a voicemail. I've sent them 3 emails. How many times you heard that? When that happens with me, I'm like, but I don't show it. I just like, really? Wow, that's fascinating. We'll explain about our culture. It's about getting the result. So I can help you if you can't figure another way to do it, but there may be 12 other things we might want to do. Maybe they don't have the answer. Maybe somebody else can give us the answer. The outcome was to get this information, not to leave an email or 12 or 3 voicemails. That will not do any of us any good. How many follow?
When in reality, the value is way down the road, 10, 15 years down the road, that you haven't built yet, and you're afraid to trade what you have for what you could have. And that's just not the way winners think about it. Winners think about it very simply. They see the end result, the 10 years, the 15 years down the road, and they say, fuck, I can't afford to not do that. I have to go all in on everything. I have to do everything I can to get to that point, because that point is so great that it makes this point feel like it's absolutely nothing. And really what I'm telling you guys is this: stop overvaluing your current situation. Stop thinking that you have it so good that you're afraid to take a risk. Because people that actually win, people that build great things, people that do great things, all the people you look up to and say, fuck man, I wish I had what that guy had. The only real difference they have is the way they assess risk is completely different. Okay? You see it as what you have to lose, when the person who's going to achieve this, the people you look up to, they see the thing 10, 15 years as something that they can't afford to not go after.
Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed. Now, as an overall rule, I do not like procrastination. You need to get things done. But if you are going to rest, that is one thing that you should procrastinate on. That's the one thing I want you to put off until tomorrow. And if, when tomorrow comes, you still feel like you need to rest or you need to take a break, then okay. But the chances are you won't. You won't need that rest. Chances are you will realize that the desire to rest was just weakness. It was just the desire to take the path of least resistance, the downhill path, the easy path.
A guy asked me about 2 months ago, he said, E.T., if there's one mistake you've made, what's that one mistake you made? I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. My values are not in alignment with my dreams. He said, E.T., what do you mean by that? I said, I want to tell you a story. I got a good friend of mine he came to me and said, Eric, my marriage is not where my marriage needs to be. I need to make some adjustments. I see you and your wife. I see how much time you spend with your wife, how much time you spend with your children, and I want that. You buy your wife roses regularly. You're always taking her out to eat. Like, I'm watching you. You spoil her. E.T., but what can I do? And so I told him what to do, and guess what he started doing, God? He started doing the exact same thing I started doing. And he said, Eric, it's not working. Like, I'm doing exactly what you're doing, but it's not working. He said, why isn't it working? I said, you know why it's not working? Because your values and your dream, you say you want a better marriage. But I told you need to iron your wife's clothes. You know what he told me? Afterwards, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you, Eric. I know you told me to iron, you told me to wash, you told me to cook, but where I come from, he said, I'm gonna be honest, Eric. When I do that, I feel like a punk. And I said, that's why you're having a hard time doing it, because your value system says a man is not supposed to iron, a man is not supposed to cook, a man is not supposed to wash dishes. That's what your value system says. So you're doing one thing, but you're going against your own value system.
And by simply going through the motions, you overcame that path. And you stayed on the righteous path, the disciplined path. You stayed on the war path, which is right where you know that you belong. I keep getting asked this type of question: how do I get disciplined, or how do I want discipline, or how do I maintain discipline? And the answer, it's a simple answer, but obviously it's not easy. And there's all kinds of little tricks and methods that people talk about, and they have some merit. Maybe they do work, these things, do the little things people say, and wake up early. I say that, and write things down, and take cold showers, and tell everyone what you're going to do. So broadcast it, and make promises, or make bets with your friends of something that you don't want to lose.
The reason why I'm having such an easy time washing clothes and cooking and ironing, you know why? Because nothing is as important to me as my marriage. And I would rather be happy. Than to say I ain't no punk. Make me a punk. I want to be a punk. I realized that information changes situations. And so I'd rather buy a book than buy a house. Because if I buy a book, I can buy several homes. But if I buy a home and I don't have the right information, guys, okay, I'm leaving you with this. This is crazy. Can I be honest with you guys? You could burn my house down and it wouldn't bother me. Well, how do I know? I had a home that a tornado tore down in Alabama. It didn't bother me. Why? Because we have the blueprints and they can rebuild it. You can take all my money out the bank. It might hit me good. If I would tell you my lineup of speaking and our audio book that we're making every month, we'll be all right. I can make more money. If you take the knowledge out of my head and take the experiences that I have, I'm broke. I'm nothing.
And those things, those ideas, they're cool. I'm sure they're going to have some impact. And if they work for you, that's awesome. But the fact of the matter is that the reason discipline is hard to maintain is because it is hard to maintain. That's what makes discipline hard. It's hard. And if you hear me claim that discipline is easy for me, then straight up, that's just my ego talking. That's what that is. Because I'm, unfortunately, just as human as everyone else. And it is work to maintain the discipline. That's what it is, work. Holding the line.